4K Kitchen.
Eggplant, also known as aubergine, is full of bitter alkaloids. Salt alters our perception of bitterness, so any eggplant preparation will benefit from a good bit of salt. The salt will also draw out some of the liquid in the eggplant, which makes for easier browning. Here you can see that I'm scoring my eggplant. The salt will better penetrate the scored slices, but the main reason I'm doing this is for presentation. Once you've sliced, scored, and salted your eggplant portions, cover them and hold them in the fridge until it's time to eat. I'm also making rye croutons for my eggplant. Simply cut the bread into rounds the same diameter as the eggplant portions and toast them in the oven until they're crispy. The nightshade family also contains tomatoes, tomatillos, and peppers. So, for accoutrement, I'm making a tomato salad and a spicy tomatillo sauce. First, the tomato salad. I like serving cherry tomatoes skin off for the sake of elegance and due to the fact that the skin tends to be indigestible. Simply score little X's in the bottoms of the tomatoes and blanch them very quickly in boiling water. Immediately plunge them into a bowl of ice water to kill the residual heat and peel. The rest of the components in the salad are what's known in Cajun cuisine as the Trinity: bell pepper, onion, and celery. First, remove the flesh from the bell peppers. Then, slice the flesh into batons and dice. Onto the onion. Chop your onion in half vertically, right through the root. It's important to keep the root intact on each half as it holds all of the onion's layers together for chopping. Slice along the top and sides of the onion. The dimensions of the final dice will depend upon how finely you make these slices. With the slices in place, dice away. Slice and dice. Next, the celery. I'm using the innermost portion with the leaves here. Simply slice along the length of the stalk in a rocking motion. For a fresh touch, I'm adding a bit of lemon zest and juice to the sliced celery. I'm also using a bit of fennel in my salad. Sweat the onion in olive oil on medium heat. A great chef once said that the secret to cooking is to know when to stop cooking. Everything peaks. If you were to add the celery first rather than last, it would go bland and bitter by the time the onions are cooked. Once the onions go translucent, add the bell pepper. Then the fennel. Next, the celery. Finally, add a nice splash of white wine and season. Add a bit of fresh thyme if you've got it, or whatever herb you're feeling. I could picture basil or tarragon here. Mix the Trinity with the tomatoes in a bowl. Add a bit more salt and a few drops of vinegar. Cover your salad and hold it in the fridge until service. The eggplant will be served hot, the salad cold. Next, the tomatillo sauce. Peel and quarter the tomatillos and shallots. Remove the seeds from the peppers. I'm using serranos here. Next, remove the core from an avocado. You might be wondering why I'm using an avocado. It's simple. The avocado will bind the sauce with richness and bright green color. The final prep item is the parsley. You can use cilantro here, but I chose parsley because cilantro isn't to everybody's taste. Chop up the parsley in a swift, rocking motion. Blend the ingredients in batches. When you're using a blender, what you're going for is a vortex like this. Unless you have one of those $500 blenders with the 15 horsepower motor, you're definitely going to need to work in small batches. Add a bit of olive oil and the juice of a lime as you go along to loosen the blend. You'll also notice that I'm adding garlic. Don't forget to season the sauce. A quick side note, you may choose to roast the tomatillos, shallots, peppers, and garlic before blending, just to mellow them out. In the raw, this sauce is aggressive, bordering on evil, just how I wanted it for this dish. For the sake of convenience and presentation, I'm transferring my finished tomatillo sauce to a squeeze bottle. The problem here is, unfortunately, that it's just too chunky to pipe out. In fact, it makes quite a mess. To fix the texture, push the sauce through a sieve. An added bonus is that the sauce is now seedless. As you can see, the sauce is now smooth and perfectly pipeable. I'm happy with it. The sauce I chose for the eggplant is unagi sauce, or eel sauce. It's delicious and easy to make. There are 3 ingredients in the sauce: mirin, which is cooking sake, soy sauce in equal proportion to the mirin, and a spoonful of sugar. I would recommend using low sodium soy sauce here. Simmer the ingredients until the sauce coats the back of a spoon. An old school trick is to draw a line on the back of the spoon. As soon as the sauce can hold the line, it's the proper thickness. When it's time to serve, brown the eggplant portions in olive oil. The eggplant will soak up some oil, and that's okay. It adds richness. Take care not to cook the eggplant for too long or it'll turn to mush. Time to plate up. First, the seared eggplant rounds layered with the crunchy rye croutons. Next, the fiery tomatillo sauce and a few blades of eggplant. Then, the Trinity tomatoes. Trinity first. Spoon on that rich sauce. I mean, just look at that gloss. I'm filling in the blank spaces with the Trinity and spooning on a bit more of the sauce, just because I can't get enough of it. And there you have it. Nightshade. This dish is truly intoxicating.